I think that the webinar series we have coming up is probably the most important webinar series that we've ever done. First, we're going to talk about suicide assessment. How often have you sat with a client, suddenly things have turned from depression towards suicide, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, what do I need to do? You have to have fantastic skills in this area. Almost any other thing you can go and learn more about after the fact, but this is something you have to know about ahead of time. So if you're rusty, if you never really learned how to do a good suicide assessment, you're going to learn during this webinar series. We have some experts who have really spoken all over the United States and internationally regarding suicide assessment. They will give you some very thorough tools that you can use in your suicide assessments. And then we're going to have two people speak on non-suicidal self-injury or cutting. This is something that is coming out more and more. More clients and therefore more counselors are talking about this. I know myself, when I had a private practice, it was disturbing to me when a young woman wanted to show me the cuts on her leg, and I was very shocked that they were so meticulous and so there were so many, and it was so ritualistic. I really didn't understand it. So there are going to be two people who are really experts in, one, assessment of non-suicidal self-injury, and two, treatment of non-suicidal self-injury. The last thing we're going to do, which is very important too, is self-care for counselors after a completed suicide. It's very depressing. I've received calls here. During my almost 6 years of working at ACA, I've received a number of calls from people saying, my client committed suicide, I am extremely depressed. Well, this is going to give you some ideas, some tools to work with for counselor self-care after a completed suicide. I know you're busy clinicians, many of you. They're in 1-hour segments. You can actually see a client before and after, and many tell me they do. So this is extremely important. These are skills you absolutely have to have today in the world of counseling.